Welcome back to another Independent Showcase on Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. For those of you that don't know what Independent Showcase is, I don't know what you've been listening to, but Independent Showcase is indeed where we go out to the independent scene, both in the UK and the US. We just had August Artois on for a very raw and real independent showcase. But I am delighted to welcome someone that I've been speaking to for quite a while now. He comes along to some of the Ignite shows that we run. He also does his own, which we'll get into. But it is, of course, the big boss himself, Mr. Tyson Keaton. Welcome to the show, mate.
Evening. Thank you for having me.
No, you're more than welcome. Thanks for coming on. I mean, look, we're sitting here near enough at the end of September already. It only feels like yesterday that it was January.
Mm.
Coming to the end of the year, how have you found 2025 for you personally?
Uh, for me, it's been similar to 2024. Not
Hmm.
that there's been no progression, but it's just similar in the way of kind of still trying to get used to the scene, getting my foot in, still understanding the inner workings of professional wrestling, like a bit more in depth, not just like
Hmm.
me as a wrestler, but what it takes to run a show and all these other like aspects of it and outside of it, like promoting yourself and all those other things that people say, like you are a brand as well as a athlete and a performer. So that's been challenging and fun to do. Like very recently, these last couple of weeks, I've fully completed my gear. Essentially,
Yeah.
I've had ring jacket, got the mask, got new tights, and just recently I got kick pads. So that's been done. And for your recommendation, my new music, original music, is being done. So once that's done, I'll be essentially a complete complete wrestler by as of 2025.
Excellent. With my recommendation, is that David and Will?
Yes, yes, it is.
They're a
Yes,
great
it is.
bunch of guys. Yes,
Yeah.
brilliant. Shane Will couldn't make it on Sunday. I said you could have spoken to him. But he was at Manchester, he got to Manchester Airport, loads of delays and
Mm,
whatnot, so he couldn't make it down. But they'll be down at a show soon. Actually, might even be
cool.
November or February. So maybe you'll see
Yeah.
him at
Yeah, I've been
some
speaking
point.
with
But
David here. He's been really, really helpful. He's like on it like really quickly. Like his turnaround for getting stuff out is surprisingly quick. Like I was expecting like multiple like weeks or like over a month, and he was like, "Oh yeah, just like a couple of days."
Yes, he is very good. I mean, I've known him for a little bit now, and some of the stuff they do is incredible. And I'm still waiting, although I'm still hoping they're going to do one my little intro coming soon for not me as a wrestler, but me
Oh
as a
God,
the podcast. You won't want to see that, mate. Although to
yes,
be
I
fair,
would.
we'll get into a bit about wrestling and me when we get into Olympus in a bit. But you
Okay,
said
yeah.
about we said about your attire, and you mentioned the mask. What is
Mhm.
the reasoning around the mask? I was quite intrigued when I saw you.
Yeah. So the mask is essentially just a reference to my nickname, the Golden Dragon,
Mhm.
and Golden Dragon stems from my like overall like Asian inspired like Asian culture presentation, and that stems from my background in Muay Thai
Mhm.
specifically. So because I still wear the Muay Thai shorts,
Yeah.
like still own those. I'm not going to throw those away. I'll like alternate between the tights and the Muay Thai shorts. But it stemmed from that, and I was essentially coming up with nicknames around the time. I wanted something related to a dragon, but there's like a lot of dragons in wrestling. So how could I have it a bit more? I don't know. I guess more regal is a word that I like to use. A bit more like stand out ever so slightly, and like golden came to mind because
Yeah.
it's more because like golden just kind of like on the surface it's just shiny and it stands out more. So that was kind of the very superficial thinking behind that.
Yeah, that was good. I like that. You mentioned Muay Thai though, the background in Muay Thai, and obviously we do see people from mixed martial arts going to wrestling. The other way is normally unsuccessful. CM Punk, for example, is a prime example of how it didn't quite
Famously, yeah.
work. Yeah,
Yeah.
Brock may be a little bit different. He
Brock's
had
on the
his
other end
six.
of the spectrum, yeah.
Yeah, Brock's on the other end of the spectrum. But when it comes to that, like how much different is it from sort of when you're training Muay Thai to actually, training wrestling? Because I know there's obviously Muay Thai is totally different in terms of what you do, but is there sort of a lot of elements in there that you can take, not just from a move perspective, but maybe your training perspective, and you take into wrestling?
Oh, absolutely. Like the conditioning aspect is surprisingly similar
Mm,
because I mean this is a case for a lot of martial arts, but in Muay Thai specifically and in Jiu-Jitsu, which I also do, there's a heavy emphasis on like cardio drills. Just like, it's very common like in so many like Muay Thai gyms and dojos that you do these like kind of essentially what wrestlers do in wrestling training, like
mm,
blow up drills where, like, for example, like you'll do 50 kicks each leg, each side,
yeah.
like non-stop. Like just go in a row without like stopping. So you just pivot and kick, 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 switch, kick, 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 kick. And there's loads of different variations of that. So you got like clinch knees. So basically you clinch
Mm.
the person in the back of the head and you're just stepping in, throwing knees, throwing knees, throwing knees. It's either like a certain number of reps or it's timed. Like you just do that for a minute straight. So in that aspect, the training's similar, but obviously the actual um like I guess meat and potatoes, the actual striking is obviously, you're actually hitting them
Yeah.
in Muay Thai. You're really going for it.
When you're saying about, when you're doing sort of 50 kicks a leg, is that kind of a bit like, I know it's going to sound like a really stupid analogy, but like lifting a weight? Because like when you're doing like biceps, right? You're doing bicep curls. So okay, there's a weight added onto it. So you are hurting though, you technically damaging the muscles, right? Because they repair back. Does it do the same kind of thing? Is it a conditioning thing, but also a strengthening thing on the muscle?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. And like more extreme examples when you're training Muay Thai in Thailand, you will
Mm,
kick harder surfaces without wearing, shin pads and pads. But yeah, I don't do that as frequently, but it does. It's torturous, but it helps. But yeah, it is a strengthening thing, and it's also a consistency thing. So when you're doing those
mm,
reps, you're like you have to do them with the same level of like energy and power throughout the whole thing. So like you never want to try and it does tend to happen, especially if you don't train as often or if you're a
mm,
beginner, you're gonna slow down, you're gonna get tired and wear out. Some kicks won't be as strong, but the idea of the drill is to remain as consistently fast and powerful, and like every kick is the same, if not harder. So you never want to
mm.
dip. But that's the challenge of it.
It's a bit like doing reps.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Just like way more intense without resting.
No, that's fair. I like that. I do
But yeah,
like that. We'll go back to wrestling and the independence in 2025. How have you, what's your view on this? I mean, I have my gripes, and my gripes is
oh yeah, we
some
all do.
companies, yeah, we will do, right?
We all do.
Some companies that I watch are too very I don't mean this to insult some, but they're very one-dimensional. It's always the same style. We don't get a lot of variety. One of the reasons I choose Ignite and I do a lot of work with Ignite is that variety. I like it. Yes, we'll get this strong style match. But then on the other side of that, you'll get someone like a Tommy Kyle who's a very technically gifted, but does a technical, maybe a same kind of style, but a technical version of a strong style. I'll go back to the match that he had with Conor Mills, which was exactly that. It was a strong style, but a technical aspect to it. Do you find that independent wrestling, should there be more variety, or are you finding where you are that there is a lot more variety? It just depends on the promotion that you choose.
I think there is. Yeah, it's a tricky one. I think there is variety, like especially like if you just branch out like one county, one town over.
Yeah.
Like there's gonna be more. There's gonna be more of the same style than not. Like people are gonna want to try and learn, springboards and do the cool, you know.
Hmm.
It's weirdly enough, I very specific. I see V triggers, bicycle knee strikes quite a lot, and it's just like it's fine. Like if you do them well, it's fine. But yeah, I see that a lot. But I think there is variety. I think it's an issue is kind of like I guess maybe on the part of certain promotions, like with placement of them, like
Hmm.
they bring in too many of the same ones
Yeah.
onto a show, but also on the wrestlers' part as well, they don't really want to adapt.
Yeah.
Like they want to like fixate on these particular moves and this particular move set whether they do it well or not, and whether it fits their character or not.
Hmm.
And I think that's mainly the issue.
Yeah,
Like,
probably right.
because they can maybe like perform the moves well, but like, is it a good fit when we have like for you as a is it for you as a wrestler and your character, does it fit for you, and does it fit for the show when we have three, four, five other wrestlers also doing that?
Hmm.
So
True.
yeah, I think it is. I think there is variety. I think it's just a bit of stubbornness on the part of certain wrestlers and promotions, just kind of not really thinking, and like not in a bad way. It's just like not. I don't mean it as an insulting way. That they just
No.
kind of like wanna like get like, oh, you're good, you're good, you're good, and then everyone, it happens all the time on the independents. Like, crowds see the same spots every two or
Yeah.
three matches.
Yeah. Cutters do it to me.
Yep, yep,
That's another one
yep,
of me.
yep.
Cutters. That
Cutters,
and
yep.
super kicks now. I've had enough of them, obviously.
Yeah,
But
that's weirdly enough, I don't really see a lot of super kicks.
no, I think they've gone down a little bit. A couple of years ago, maybe. Cutters has been my bugbear for the last 18 months. Cutters has been the one I see a lot of.
I do see a lot more
Sometimes,
cutters.
yes, multiple times during a show, and I'm like, oh, I just don't want to see anymore. But before we start about Olympus, I always sidetrack and talk about and give you some random stuff, or not random, but they're just wrestling questions. It's just whether you've answered them before or not. And we spoke about music just then, and you said about Will and David. But what's your top five favorite wrestling themes?
Oh, I've actually thought about this.
Should have told you
Um,
Sunday, shouldn't I? This was
yeah,
coming.
you should have warned me. Well, yeah. Well, one's going to be an obvious answer because he's my inspiration for being a wrestler, which
Yep,
is Jushin Thunder Liger.
interesting.
Like,
Okay.
love that song. Yeah, anything Japanese is always great. Uh, hmm. I mean, there's loads of like WWE classics. Then I'm gonna name one, then forget about another one that I really like.
Yeah.
Cult of Personality, but I feel like that's kind
Yep.
of cheating
No,
because
it's not cheating.
it's technically not a WWE, it's not a wrestling song. But yeah, Cult of Personality. Um, I think I like Undertaker's theme. I know it's very
Yep.
base. I know it's super basic, but I mean, there can't be a more perfect like theme song to fit with a character.
Yep.
It's just kind of like you know yeah. So that one's good. Especially when you hear the gong.
Yep.
Um, and that got me thinking about Kane. Actually, weirdly enough, and Undertaker.
Interesting.
His specifically, I forgot the name of it, but it's specifically the one he used. I think after he got unmasked.
Slow chemical.
Yes, slow. I know it's slow something. Yeah, yeah, that one.
Slow
That
chemical.
yeah, that one. And I'm just kind of naming songs. These aren't like my I do like them, but these aren't actually my top five. After we're done here, I'm probably gonna think about it and be like, oh no, that
Yeah.
one's like number two. So I'm just naming stuff, but I do like these songs. And then fifth one, mm, under the Undisputed Era theme,
Okay, like
and it
that.
from NXT.
Yeah,
Yeah,
NXT.
that
Yeah.
one's
Shock the system, right?
that one's that one's great. Yeah,
That was it. We just mentioned themes quickly, and you mentioned it because I know you said about the Undertaker and the presentation and how it fits the character. And I always say that sometimes the greatest themes in wrestling don't even have to have words. If you
yeah.
look at Undertaker's, MJF, Roman Reigns, they're all prime examples. But what is, I suppose you sort of mentioned there about the theme that befits the character, which is the Undertaker, and you couldn't really think of a better theme. How important is a theme song to a wrestler's character, would you think?
I think it's very important
Hmm.
because that's the first impression before you actually physically come out of the curtain,
Yeah.
which is the song. And ultimately, like, it's not one of the most important things at the end of the day. You could have a really can we swear?
Yes.
Okay, you can have a really shit theme,
Yeah.
like some copyright free, you know, stock sound thing from YouTube or whatever. But you come out of the entrance and you're geeing up the crowd. Everyone reacts to you well, and you connect with the
Hmm.
crowd, and you have great matches. So that like ultimately it doesn't matter in that aspect, but for that reason, specifically as a new wrestler, you're debuting somewhere, trying to make a first impression to a promotion, to a crowd.
Mm.
Like the music is the first impression before the physical impression. So,
Yeah.
and yeah, and it doesn't hurt to have a really fucking sick theme song.
And back it up in the ring, it makes it even better, right? That's
Exactly,
the
yeah, and
yeah,
people want to hear it. They
exactly.
want to see you come out and wrestle, and they also want to see you come out and wrestle so they can hear your theme song. And obviously, the dream for wrestlers, if you've got lyrics in them, or even if you don't, is for the crowd to sing along with it.
Funnily enough, at Shenley Road, they've just started to sing the oh of Mike's theme, of Smashing Mike's theme. That's something that they've
Oh, really? Yeah,
started to sing along. Maybe,
yeah.
but we'll see how long it is before Mike's back at Ignite. We'll have to see after that loss. At the time of recording, he did lose to Chris Aries, by the way. That's what I'm saying. Obviously you've watched wrestling for some time now. Do you have a particular match that I'm one of these guys? I don't watch matches back. I never have, and I never will. That's not. I just
Mm.
that's
I'm
just
the
how I do.
opposite.
But is there a match that you maybe the best match that you've ever witnessed, maybe live, not necessarily watching on telly, but if you've ever gone to see a show, watched a match, it could be anything, WWE, Independence, whatever, and it's just a match you'll always remember.
In terms of live, I haven't actually been to a lot of really big
Hmm.
live shows throughout my life. It's primarily just been on television, on streaming. But I mean, I guess like the most recent memory of a live show was All In in
Hmm.
Wembley in 2023, the first All In in Wembley,
Hmm.
and yeah, the either it was either the tag match between the Young
Yeah,
Bucks and FTR or the
yeah,
main event. Like watching those live,
yeah,
yeah, it was fantastic. Even though I was like, I wasn't too far away. We had really good seats, like in the 100 section.
mm,
So like, yeah, just watching that live was fantastic. And I was like surprised at my how invested I was getting, like as a
yeah,
fan, like as if I was watching it at home, like
yeah,
standing up and reacting to the near falls and all like the spots. Yeah, it was great fun. But yeah, in terms of on TV and streaming, something that like a match that I thought was one of the best like things like ever was when I started to transition away from watching WWE
yeah,
as I got older, and I discovered independent wrestling and more importantly Japanese wrestling, and I was just hooked off that. Like my wrestling brain was getting tired of the product of
yeah,
WWE. Like it was getting too. I was still keeping up with it, but I couldn't watch it as
yeah,
much. I just didn't want anything to do with it. And NXT was my WWE
yes,
kind of like intake. Like
yeah,
I just watched NXT takeovers. I love that, and then got New Japan World subscription and got hooked on New Japan and watching old Noah and all Japan stuff and everything from the indies, like from the early late 2000s, Ring of Honor and
mm,
everything else, like Rev Pro, of course, Progress.
mhm, yeah,
And but yeah, the match that I was like, oh, this is like beyond what I thought wrestling could be, which was Okada and Omega, the first one at Wrestle
yeah,
Kingdom.
yeah.
Yeah, just like not even halfway through the match, I was like, this is incredible. Like the match could end here, and I'd like just be like happy that I witnessed this. Like it was so good.
Yeah, it really was. All in is that All in 2023 was so bittersweet for me.
Oh yeah.
Well, yes, that was the time that I didn't make the event because I had heart failure about a week before, and I
Oh
missed All In that year. But I went the
right.
next year, and I went to obviously with Forbidden Door this year. So
Yeah.
the whole of the podcast went on 2023, barring me, which was a real bittersweet. I had to watch it from the hospital bed, and I can assure you, I was watching it through gritted teeth.
I bet. Yeah.
Not that it wasn't good, it was
Mm.
just should have
Yeah.
been there.
You were just gutted you couldn't go. Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite match of all time is a match that's never ever aired on television. That's an
Oh
interesting one.
okay. Oh
It
deep.
was a
Okay.
match at the WWE XL W. I think yeah, it was WWE XL Arena. So over in Docklands, and
Oh, okay.
it was a match between Kurt Angle and The Undertaker.
Nice.
And they had their No Way Out match. I think this was WrestleMania Revenge Tour, I want to say. It's either that or it was the one before Survivor Series that they did. I think sometimes they do it just to feel out matches and see what they think. So I think
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was November or April, but anyway, Kurt Angle Undertaker. It went something along the lines of 42 minutes,
Oh my
and it
God.
was just it was just absolutely incredible. And
On a house
I
show.
House show, yeah, house show,
Oh my.
yeah,
Oh man.
yeah. London XL Arena, Kurt Angle, Undertaker. Yeah, just a crazy man. It was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. And they so they
Yeah.
went on to have that match at No Way Out. I mean, 2006, I think it was. But man, that
Sounds
was
about right.
just yeah, incredible. Other notable mentions: Shawn Michaels, Undertaker at WrestleMania 25, just to be there live at Houston to watch that. We were right near the entranceway
Oh, you
with
were live for
Shawn
that.
come. Yeah, I was there. Yeah, I went to
Oh
four
wow.
WrestleManias. I went to 25, 21, 25, 26, 27, 28. And 25 was right near the entranceway where Sean come down from heaven and the Undertaker rose from
Yeah.
hell. That was just a brilliant, brilliant one. I think I was at, yeah, Edge's last WrestleMania for many, many years. As well when he I think 26 that was I want to say, but yeah, that one Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, both of those matches actually were
Yeah.
honorable mentions, but I can
Great
never get
matches.
away. Undertaker's been in all of them, which is quite weird. He's been in all of my like matches I've seen live anyway. And then on the independents, I mean, the Ignite done one very, very recently. It was a triple threat in the breakout, and it was Tanner versus Denzel Mack versus Jaden Williams, and that was the
Yeah.
opening match of the show. And I just looked at just Chris at the end and just said, "Can we just shut up now?" Because that was I felt sorry for Chris and Mike who were on after it. So I was just like, "How on earth can you follow that?" It was
Mm.
just an incredible one. But that yeah, those are the matches for me that will always live in my memory.
Good
Anyway,
picks.
what number would you want to be in the Royal Rumble?
As in like tactically or like for fun.
Both. If they're different numbers, they're different numbers. It's fine.
Okay. Well, 30, obviously. 30. 30. Why would I want anything else? Easier to
Okay,
win.
then. If your favorite number was your entrant into the Royal Rumble, what number would that be? Don't say 30 now, because that is not your favorite number.
500. No. Well, that would be the opposite because it's three.
My favorite's 8, so we'll be in there probably at the same time
Okay. Yeah,
if
we'd
we
be in the final four. Yeah, it would be the Iron
would
Man
be,
show.
would be in the final four. Yeah, if there was a 10-person rumble, maybe, but I'd hide outside, let you do all the work. The last question before we move on to Olympus. If you had a table of four other wrestling personalities that you could sit around and talk about wrestling, who would the four people around that table be?
Wow. Hmm. I want to say Jushin Thunder Liger, but he
Yep,
doesn't speak a lot of English,
that's
so
right. You can have a translator.
I'll have to brush up on my Japanese. I've been learning. Yeah, I'll say Jushin Thunder Liger. Why not?
Yep.
Yeah, I spoke with him a bit. Um, hmm, man, again, like too many choices because like you just get like so many like different outlooks on wrestling
Mm,
just from two different people.
yeah.
Bret Hart,
Yeah.
yeah,
Just be
even though
you'll be in for a long night the way he
yeah,
answers
I know,
questions.
but it'd be fun. It'd be funny. I know he's a bit of a moany bastard these days, a lot more than he used to be. But
Brett, bitter, never.
Brett, no, but no, that definitely would still like to.
Yeah.
Would absolutely want his perspective. Um, hmm. You mentioned Kurt. I think Kurt Angle
Yeah. That'd be good.
definitely.
And then one more. Feel
One more. There's a lot of Japanese wrestlers that's like going past my brain, just like revolving around. Uh, Tanahashi, Hiroshi Tanahashi.
There we go. Interesting.
Yeah,
Mine's
I think that covers a
broad spectrum.
broad spectrum of wrestling.
Absolutely. It absolutely does. Mine is Paul Heyman
Yeah,
for sure. bit of a controversial one. Jim Cornette. I just love
No,
his stories.
I get it.
I've
I get it.
listened to yeah, I've listened to enough of his like back sort of shoot interview. He done like a year in review. I've got two DVDs upstairs of kayfabe commentaries from Sean Oliver, who's used to
Yeah.
do the he basically used to do the in person of this in a lot of ways,
Yes.
but just far better
Oh yeah,
than me.
I've seen those on YouTube. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, you've seen him, right?
I've
He
seen them.
does he does like a couple of years in WCW and W years in WWE, and it's brilliant. So I'd like to have him. Uh, Edge, just because I want to talk. He's one of my here. Edge is one of my heroes, and yeah, Triple H again for that very other reason. He's or Steve Austin, but Triple H. We'll go with Triple H.
Okay.
So that's my four. That's my four.
Okay. That's good for. That's good for.
Good four. Good four. Yeah, it'd be a good fun. To be honest, Bret Hart would be great, but he just takes so long with his questions. To like, he just goes. I've been to. I was fortunate enough to attend a Bret Hart, like an evening with Bret, a
Yeah.
couple of years ago now. And Jesus, when you ask him a question, you just need to give yourself 15 minutes because that's probably how long he takes to answer a question. It's just how he is. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just how he is.
Yeah.
But still, fascinating person to be around. Right, Olympus Pro Wrestling. You done a promote. Well, you create a promotion and you done a show over in Basildon Way, which is right on my doorstep. I remember finishing work, getting caught up in the fucking monsoon on the way to
Yeah.
the show. Yeah. Good show. Enjoyed it. Yours was match
Thank
of
you.
the night. That's not because you're on there. It was legitimate. I honestly, I've said that to you time and time again. Yours, but you and Ted and Ryan Curran had the match
Yeah.
of the night. It was great to see another good friend of mine in LA Taylor. But
Thanks.
when you're doing this sort of thing, promotion, I only do a little. Obviously, I do a little bit of Ignite. We know with the championship and whatnot, so it's totally different to what you guys do. But in terms of the promotion event, like what are the big things that I mean, other than don't do it? What are your biggest advice that you would give to people that are like thinking about it? Is there things that you thought, Jesus, I didn't even know I needed to think about that?
Well, not to sound like I do know it all, but I thankfully didn't have that kind of moment because I was essentially double, triple checking and planning
Mm.
before I would like commit to this.
Yeah,
Like I Best advice I would give is don't just do it, if that makes sense.
yeah.
Don't just do it willy-nilly, like, oh okay, I'll book a venue, let's go. And then you forget, oh, I've got to make a logo. Oh, I've got to do this. Oh, I've got to make a social media page. I've got to make a Facebook, got to make an Instagram. Oh, I've got to make posters. So yeah, that would be the most basic advice. Don't just like throw yourself into the mix.
Mm.
Like take the time to plan ahead. Like even if it is like you just want to take some time to decide what even is the company, what the name of it is, and what you want it to be. If you just want it to be just a basic, wrestling promotion, that's fine. But if you have a specific vision of what it is to be, like if you've got like specific, match types, or
Hmm.
like if it's like an like is it a women's promotion? Is it
Yeah.
like a CXW like death match thing? Is it like a pure rules? Like mine's not that, thankfully. Yeah,
When
is
you
it?
go on,
Sorry.
no, sorry, go on. Go on.
Yeah, yeah, or is it like a like like a blood sport pure wrestling
Mm.
rules type deal? Like just like decide what it's gonna be, what it's gonna be called, where you're gonna run before you actually you know go and do it. And I've decided, and I also decided well ahead of time, if I was to do more shows, which I will be, so I'll like promote that now, even though it's not official. I haven't got a poster ready or anything, but I'll be like spacing them out like many
Mm.
months apart, not just because it's easier to like plan and less stress, but also I want to focus on my own wrestling career. Like that's the thing I want to advance.
Yeah, because that's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I know obviously Chris at Ignite, he done it when he was wrestling as well, and that was the thing. It was kind of that balancing act of, yes, you're a wrestler, and then you've got to be a promoter, and it's also that line, isn't there, with talent that one week you could be on a show with them as a wrestler, and the next week you're technically their boss, right? Because they're coming over
Yeah.
to you. So is that sort of fine line that you've got to have for yourself when you're doing it? Sometimes remember that. Yeah, actually, you're coming to wrestle for me, so you kind of got to listen to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, the feeling, the vibe I got backstage during the show was like, even though I've been at this for just over 3 years, Like I'm not like a know-it-all vet.
Yeah.
I just wanted to try this, and I went into this with like the best intentions, and I went into it with the plan. I didn't just be like, I could do that. But the vibe I got backstage from everyone is that they did respect the fact that I was the promoter. I was in
Yeah.
charge. Like there wasn't any kind of like brush me off, just like he's just like one of us. Like no, they respected the hierarchy, I
Mm.
guess is a good way of putting it. So and it just made the show run a lot smoother. It was like much less stress for me to deal with because everyone knew their job. I didn't have to micromanage a lot of stuff, which is good, and that comes with booking like like competent and
Yeah.
like just normal experienced like people who would know what they're there for, know my role, and yeah, just everyone just working together to put together a show. It was like once it happened,
Yeah.
like it was surprisingly, I don't want to say easy, but like it just like ran better than I thought it would. Once the show started, it was
Yeah.
just kind of the stress kind of evaporated.
Yeah.
Like
Good.
in the lead up to it, it was a bit different.
I don't even want to. I don't even want to go there because of the show that we just had. If I had hair, I wouldn't have had hair after.
Yeah,
So I know where you're coming from with that, but I'm glad you're doing more shows because obviously that's going to be great. And well, I'm going to be there, so there's at least one or two tickets that are gone before you
yeah,
even announced the show, which is nice.
yeah.
To
Good. It would. Yeah, I will pre-warn you. It won't be in Basildon, but it won't be
That's
too
fine.
far. It won't be too far from Basildon. It will still be in
No,
Essex.
that's fine. That's fine. It's in Essex. That's all that matters. I'm not saying it's all that matters. I travel around anyway. I did like the venue, though. I must admit, the venue was a really nice one for that.
I do. It's just it's such a nice like wide like massive like spacious venue. It's got a bar. It's got like
Mm,
so many like backroom areas, like a literal locker room, like two
yeah.
locker rooms for men and women, and like a kind of backstage space for like promo pictures and like a
Mm.
hangout area, like a holding area. That was great. It's just in the actual hall, those bloody fucking drapes, those curtains, because it's also a wedding venue,
It is. Yeah.
and like looking at it, I was like, even with like a high ring, like that would be fine.
Mm,
But then like it's just those moments where you go into the top rope and standing up fully when they're just kind of like brushing away. It's like if I could just get the venue to somehow, I don't know, like adjust them so they can be tightened and kind of raised higher and like flattened almost
yeah.
towards the ceiling. And
Yeah.
that would if they could just deal with that kind of nitpick, then it would just be like perfect.
There we go. So we're looking forward to seeing that. That's for sure. Because as I said, I'll definitely be there. I'll
Thank
definitely
you.
come and support you guys, you and Olympus. Was there a reason behind the name Olympus? Is there something that was it prevalent for a reason, or was that just something that you?
Um, well, at first it was just because I'm very much just into Greek mythology.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah.
I just like the mythos of it. But then like thinking deeper, like I just came to like eureka moment, like, oh no, wrestling like has a direct link to like ancient Greece
Yeah.
because that's where it originated
That's right.
in the Olympics, like the pancration style of wrestling, which we don't do today, thankfully. Which is if you don't know, like that was done in the completely in the nude, like the
Yeah.
pancration style of wrestling back then. So but yeah,
Why do
like it
I feel
has.
that Jack Torino would love that?
Um, it, he can do his own promotion and do that. I'm not. I'm not dealing with that. He can wear all the thongs and grease himself up all he wants. Okay, that's gonna invite a different type of wrestling fan to
It
that.
would.
So no, thank you. But yeah, then I thought, oh no, it's an actual perfect link to like ancient like Greece because that's where the sport
Yeah.
originated from. So why not just bring that kind of sport focus with the entertainment of modern professional wrestling and like yeah, there you go, Olympus Pro Wrestling.
Olympus Pro Wrestling. There it is. Look out for that next year. Next year, probably. Is that
Yes,
fair? Yeah.
February.
February. February next
Yep,
year. There you go,
February.
everybody.
Yep.
There we go. Wicked. I'm looking forward to that myself now. Now I can put another date. Well, once I know the date, I'll put it in the calendar, but we'll
Yeah,
wait for that.
yeah. Well,
That,
yeah. Once I got the posters,
yeah.
I'll like announce it officially, the actual date and
Yes.
all the details and venue and everything else.
Perfect. Well, I'll look forward to that. But I did mention earlier that I was very much a part of your last show, maybe unintentionally, and I
It was
can't
very
wait for
very
you.
intentional.
Oh, it was really, yeah, well, there was a lot of intentional things as well about it. And I can't wait to see. I know the video will be out soon of it, and I can't
It
wait
will.
to grab it because it will be on our socials. I got an opportunity to get a little bit of, shall we say, revenge back on a former turnbuckle champion of mine. Those of you that watch the show will know that Mark True was the biggest pain in my ass the world had ever seen. Threw the title at me once, refused to defend it once. So, at Olympus Pro Wrestling, he was taking on another good friend of mine, Callum Beck, who, incidentally, those of you that have watched my last podcast with the Black and the Brave Training and Academy, Seth Rollins Academy, will know that Callum was actually a part of that academy. Those of you that have seen it. And during that match, Callum put Mark on the outside of the ring, and he was going around to the fans in attendance and getting to chop Mark True. And then he came to me and he gave me the look to do it, and I didn't hesitate, and it's
No, you
still,
didn't.
I know I didn't, and it
No,
was nice and loud.
you didn't.
I
It was a chop.
couldn't get out of my seat quick enough, and I had to make sure I done it properly. I wasn't going to do it sitting down. I had to make sure I had a lot of pent-up aggression
Yeah,
from just
you took your power stance. You were ready.
those of you that seem like a shot putter would have been like, just a chop putter in this case.
Oh yes.
Well, Mark gave me a 10, so I can't rely on that. It was good.
Yeah. It
But it just shows you how great these shows were. It was a fantastic show, and we'll look forward to February. But before we start wrapping up, Tyson, look, obviously you are still a wrestler by heart, and you're still looking for bookings and whatnot. So if people are looking to get hold of you for shows or anything like that, where can they find you on social media? And if you are available for bookings, how can they book you?
Yeah, so I have Facebook and Instagram. Facebook is just Tyson Keaton.
Mhm.
Instagram is at Tyson Keaton Big Boss. And then it'll also have my email for bookings on my Instagram page, which is Tyson Keaton Gold at hotmail.com. So,
Book
any, yeah,
booking.
Tyson, yes, for bookings.
But book that man right there.
Yes,
Book the big boss on your shows, or the Golden Dragon,
yeah,
whatever he'd like to
yeah,
be called.
yeah. Either, yeah, DM on Instagram or email Tyson Keaton Gold at hotmail.com.
Put it this way: if you do like a very combative way of wrestling, then this is your man because that triple threat match, Chef's Kiss, was
If you like knees and kicks,
yes, he's your man.
I'm your guy.
He is the man indeed. Make sure you do book him on your show because, again, you will not be disappointed. That's for sure. But Tyson, look, we're out of time today. Look, I actually just want to say a big thanks for the help that you do at Ignite as well. You help out a lot. I know Chris is very appreciative of your help, and so am I. And those times in which we just need a helping hand just to make things go smoothly,
Yeah,
you're
of
always
course.
there. So
Yeah,
a big thank you for that. And
yeah.
congratulations on that first show with Olympus. I look forward to coming back in February to see you
Thank you.
again. Guys, coming up on this channel, bloody hell, what have we got coming up on this channel? That's a good question. Brian Hebner is coming up, so we get to have a nice little referee chat with Brian Hebner. I will be on the Nerdic Pro podcast. I'm a guest. Yes, I actually do I guest on other podcasts as well. So I'll be on the Nerdic Pro podcast. I don't know if it's live, so if it is, I'll let you guys know. But that'll be next week, and I may have a couple of other TNA AEW bits happening, but I can't say anything right now. But just keep it locked. HTT Buckle on X, HTT Buckle on YouTube, hitting the Turnbuckle podcast on all other social media outlets. Until next time, everybody, he's been the big boss, Tyson Keaton. I've been Adam Cousins, and you've been watching the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. Buckle down, stay safe, and good